Good morning, everyone. I am so grateful and so excited to be here with y'all and welcome you to Oprah's Your Life in Focus, Be the Love You Need pre-show. So Oprah is just 15 minutes away from taking the virtual stage and the countdown is on. In the meantime, what's up, y'all? I'm Coach Kayla from WW's new game-changing, goal-crushing, always-on Digital 360 membership. Our team of seriously superstar coaches are here to help you reach your weight loss and wellness goals. Now, WW and Oprah asked us to introduce the rest of the Digital 360 coaches and to give you a taste of some of the exclusive D360 experiences to help you get ready, mind, body, and spirit for today's event. And I know y'all are super excited and ready to meet the team, so I'm gonna kick it to Coach Lisa, who also happens to be Oprah's coach.
Hi, Coach Kayla. Thanks so much. So great to see you all. I'm Coach Lisa. I've been a coach for forever, and I've been a member for even longer. And one thing I know is that when you're creating the love that you need and self-care, especially when it comes to food, it's really important to find a balance between nutrition and delight. So I created a delightful little snack that I'm going to have today for energy, popcorn, but I drizzled a little caramel sauce and some little chocolate chips on here too for that perfect balance. I know that Coach Cassidy and Coach Monica also have some awesome snacks. My inspiration, Coach Cassidy, what do you have?
Hey Lisa, you know I love sharing all my snack hacks and kitchen tips for having fun, but I've got a beautiful mix of chocolate covered strawberries, candy, pretzels, you name it. Coach Monica, I see you've got some cheese over there on your board. Show me what you got.
Coach Cassidy, I have to say that board looks like the love that I need today. So over here, I have my non-negotiables, which is always cheese. I have a little bit of cheese, tomatoes, and basil. And then since it's a special day and I'm feeling fancy, I cut up some pineapple and apples and put a little bit of tahini seasoning on it for a twist.
Ah, Monica, that sounds incredible. So popcorn, chocolate, candy, cheese, everything's on the menu when it comes to WW. So I'm gonna actually toss this right over to Coach Tess, who's gonna do a centering and breathing exercise with us to get us right into the big day. Hi, Coach Tess.
Hey, Lisa, thanks so much, y'all. Those snacks look so good. I am Coach Tess. It is such an honor to be with you guys today. Y'all, we are all around the world and we have the same purpose of empowering ourselves, being the love that we need first and foremost, and that is a really powerful thing. So my skin is buzzing. I know y'all are excited at home, so let's just take a centering moment before Oprah comes on in just a few minutes to really gather this excited energy, take a breath, get a little more centered so that we're ready to be the love that we need. So I have with me two of my best gals on your support squad, Coach Bianca from Nashville. What's up?
What's up, everybody? I am Coach Bianca, or Coach B, and I just want to say how proud I am of every single one of you for showing up for you today. Thank you, Tess, for the intro. I love you. Take it away.
Love you, B. And then from Chicago, y'all, we have adorable baby Corey and new mom, Coach Lindsay. Hey, girls.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Coach Lindsay from Chicago. This is Corey. We are so excited to be here and get on with this event, and I'm super in need of a little calming breath work. So Tess, what do you have for us?
So as you can see, you guys, whether you are sitting at your desk chair or your couch or you are hanging out with your kids, everyone feel free to join us and just take a moment for yourself. So we'll take 3 deep breaths together. I want you to place your hands right on your lap, close your eyes, let your shoulders slide down your back, and just let all of your air go. Empty, empty, empty. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill up your lungs. Lips will stay sealed as you exhale through your nose. 2 more just like this. Full breath in. And release the calming breath out. 1 last global breath together, full inhale. And just let the air spill. As you're ready, blink your eyes open. Y'all at home, it is so nice to see you. I hope you feel a little more anchored, a little more in tune with your mind, your body as we head into the main event. But I see my girl, Coach Faven. She's going to help us feel the love a little more. What do you have for us, Fav?
Hi, Tess. Thank you so much. Hi, you guys. It's so good to see you. It's so good to be here with you. I'm Coach Faven. As you guys all know, today's event is about being the love that you need. And one of the ways that I show myself some self-love is I leave these little love notes around my apartments for me to find on my mirror or on my wall. It's a huge part of my self-love practice, and it makes me feel worthy and valuable. It's really easy to do, and it helps you realize some of the things you love the most about yourself. And so what I want you guys to do right now is to grab some Post-its and a marker, and I want you to write down a word, a statement, something fun or playful, whatever you're feeling this morning before we go into this gorgeous event. So my love word for today is grace, and my love note for myself is you are worthy of unconditional love. So you guys pick yours, and I see my girl, Coach Alexis Rose down there. Hey girl, what's your love word for today?
Hey, Coach Faven. Hi, everyone. It is Coach Alexis Rose here, AKA your empowerment queen. And my word for today is validated. Today, it is so important to make sure that you are constantly making sure that you are the power within yourself. And my phrase today is, it is already done.
I love that so much. Thank you, Coach Alexis Rose. And Coach Nat, what about you? What have you got for us today, girl?
Thank you, Coach Faven. I'm Coach Nat, and my love word to myself is powerful, because I like to remind myself that I have positive influence and that I'm strong both physically and mentally. I also like to let myself know that I'm doing really well and that I've totally got this.
Yes, I love that so much. Okay, you guys, we are getting ready for the queen, Oprah herself, but I want to see the rest of your love note. I want to see what you guys are feeling today. I want to see what you guys wrote down. Coach Cassidy, I love you right back. Love you, Mom and Dad. Strong, joy, magic. I love this so much, you guys. This is exactly the kind of energy that we love to see every day with our D360 team. Every day, there's different motivations and inspirations from your coaches and your community at your fingertips, literally whenever you're feeling like you need it. So it is almost time for Oprah, and I'm going to send it over to Coach Josh on the coast of England first to wrap things up for us. You guys, I love you so much. We're so excited that you're here. Coach Josh, take it away.
Thank you, Faven, and a big thanks to all the other coaches as well. It's honestly been such a pleasure to share a little bit about what we do here on the incredible D360 platform. Now, if you want to find out anything further about the Digital 360 membership, please head over to www.com for more information. Now, lastly, I just want to finish up by saying a massive thank you for being here with us and prioritizing yourself. Now, onto the moment that we've all been waiting for. Let's get ready for an incredible event of inspiration ahead of us. Oprah is just a few minutes away. So everyone with me, coaches, you guys at home, stand up, let's get up, let's have a little dance, show us your move, let's go.
Welcome to our WW New Digital 360 member.
Last year, 3 million of you joined me for a free virtual experience to help you focus and be well.
Hello, Germany, Sweden, France, Netherlands, South Africa. Great to see you.
And now, a live virtual event. Welcome to WW Presents Your Life in Focus. Be the love you need.
Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hi, all over the world. Hello, hello, hello. It is Valentine's weekend, and what I love most is seeing all of you on my screen this Saturday morning. I also love saying we are live around the world. And I know we're having a few glitches with Zoom. We're offering up our prayers to the digital gods that all of those glitches get worked out. But thank you for joining us. It's just incredible to me that we get to gather from our kitchens, our dens, our living rooms, our bedrooms together in our shared spirit of being well, even though we are separated by miles and by time zones. It's 3 a.m. I hear in Australia. I know that Megan Crest-Train is watching and so many others. Mel from Australia, y'all getting up at 3 in the morning. Thank you so much. And from Mumbai, you all are checked in, to Dubuque, to Dublin. You made it, so thank you. Our friends at Zoom just told me that we've broken their largest Zoom record ever this morning. Beyond that, how about all of you on Facebook and YouTube? Hey, I am feeling your energy. And before the show started, I was watching you all get centered with our new WW coaches from the US and the UK. Hi guys, I just think you all are so great. They are the heartbeat of WW's exciting new membership that we're calling Digital 360.
Welcome to our WW New Digital 360 membership. I'm Coach Kayla, and I'm really excited that you're here. Digital 360 is designed to help you succeed. We're always on, always there for you.
I was able to lose 86 pounds. I wanted to help other people experience that shift.
You can follow as many coaches as you want, so you can really craft your team based on what's important to you. Coach Lives happen multiple times a day.
Hi everybody! How are you guys?
These are live, interactive sessions led by your coach.
Actually, you know what? Chat time. We are going to talk today about what's in your fridge. I want to know how things are going for you this week.
This is designed to help you set your goals, stay on track, keep motivated, and answer your questions.
Healthy is an outfit that looks different on everybody.
Another great feature, all of the on-demand content created just for you. Like guided walks led by Oprah. We can't wait to see and hear from you. Remember, we've always got your back.
So the coaches ask you all to write a love note to yourselves. So let's see those love notes, those words again. See them up on the screen. What you got, what you got, what you got. Focus, get it, girl. I see you, Jessica. That's beautiful. Coach Brooks, love that. Flossom, Jocelyn, love that. Oh, capable, Alexandra, love those words. So I want to say thank you for making a date with me to get focused and be the love you need. Your time is precious. I realize that, especially in the midst of all that's been happening in our world. And I know that you've been pulled in directions that you didn't even know you had this past year. At WW, we believe in celebrating every little step on your journey to wellness. And just by you all saying yes to this morning on a Saturday, finding time to devote to yourself, you put yourself at the top of your to-do list. So give yourself a high five for that, everybody. You know, so many people feel guilty when they try to put themselves first. Years ago, I remember on an Oprah show, life coach Cheryl Richardson got booed the first time she came on and presented this idea of putting yourself first on your to-do list. Literally, the audience booed her. And I had to say, hey, y'all, this is not the Jerry Springer show. We do not do that. But women were insulted. They were like, who does she think she is telling us we need to be on our list? Does she have children? She doesn't understand. And I said, she didn't say abandon your children in the streets. She said, put yourself on the list so that you will be able to take care of other people in a better fashion. So realizing that you are worthy of putting yourself back on your list is a profound expression of being the love you need. But here's what's really interesting. We all know the word love is a lot like wellness, wouldn't you say? It means different things to different people. And there's so much emphasis on the love that other people can bring to you, to us, that we often forget that the central key to even bringing love into your life is being the love you want to bring. And, you know, I learned that early on in a relationship. I used to date this guy named Bubba. I ran for, I was in the Miss Black Tennessee pageant in the 70s. And Bubba was my boyfriend at the time. That was his real name. And I remember that in the pageant, all the girls were getting these flowers from their boyfriends. But Bubba did not send me any flowers. Why would I expect him to? Because for my birthday, he'd given me a vacuum cleaner. But Bubba didn't send me any flowers. And I was mostly embarrassed, you know, because all the other girls were getting flowers. And I remember Miss Black Ohio said to me, you don't have to worry about getting flowers in a vase if your man has put flowers on your mind. And I never forgot that. So I wanted to find in life a man who could put flowers on my mind. And I've been fortunate enough to do that with Stedman all of these years. And so it's important, I think, to celebrate Valentine's and to let that be a symbol of the love that you have for yourself and the love you have for your friends and the love that you have for your partners. But you want a flower on your mind, you know, and every Valentine's Day, Stedman does the same thing. And that is sends me flowers from all of our dogs and writes a note from all of the dogs based on their personalities. And so I'm looking forward to all of my dog notes tomorrow. But one of the things that I really, really know for sure is that real love, the truest, the purest, starts within you. And for many of us, depending upon what happened in your life at an early age, it is the work of your life to heal yourself enough to give yourself the love that you need. So this morning is about looking at ways we can begin to do that, to begin focus on being better to ourselves. And it's not some big proclamation. It's what we believe in WW. It's the little steps. It's the little things. Loving yourself in ordinary ways that eventually become extraordinary. And then you'll be able to offer that in kind to others. You can't do it. You can't even begin to love others until you can do it for yourself. So you know who seems to be living this idea, literally breathing it in every day, from dancing in her nightgown and slippers or being perfectly imperfect when she's baking up goodness? Jennifer Garner, one of the nicest people on the planet, has been a ray of sunshine during these dark days of quarantine. So good morning, Jennifer. Hi.
Morning, Oprah. Good morning, all the Galentines out there.
All the Galentines. That's right. It's Galentine's Day.
I know.
So great to see you. The way you have embraced this lockdown life has been an inspiration. And I read that you actually decided to seek out and to share joy in this moment, that was a decision.
Yes, of course. Yeah, it just felt like, well, I need it, and the best way to manifest it for yourself is to share it. And so, luckily, there are all these great ladies out there to share it with, and it just kind of it's a virtuous cycle.
Well, I know you have 3 children, Violet, Serafina, and Sam, a full-time career. I had the pleasure of sitting next to Violet at that event we were doing for Tom and Rita. Such a lovely daughter. And I know that giving back is a big part of your life. And we've been talking about, as you know, putting yourself on your to-do list. When life gets complicated, where do you fall on your own list of priorities, Jen?
Well, I think everyone has moments where you are not on the top of your to-do list, but there are a couple of things. One, I always move my body, and that is for me. That's for my brain. It's for my happiness. I know that you're one step away from a good mood. And so no matter what, one way or another, I move. And for me, that's often like dance cardio. And the more people around, or obviously right now we're over Zoom, but that's okay because there are dance cardio classes and they're a blast. They're silly and they're fun and you don't even realize that you're doing cardio. So that's one thing. And the other is that when I am overwhelmed, I put myself first by saying, go gentle on yourself. Go gentle. You don't have to be everything to everyone, and you don't have to even be everything to yourself right now. Just never hurry, never worry. One step at a time. What is it? And just like remove guilt from the situation. Even guilt for yourself, like I'm not doing enough for myself today. Sometimes you aren't, but don't beat yourself, just remove the guilt from it. That's a big step.
Yeah, I'm writing that down, Jen, because I think that there is so much negative self-talk. You all know that, right? The moment you do something, you say, and, expletive, and then you start to badger yourself. I think if you can train your brain, which we all can do, I don't just think it, I know we can, to train your brain to do that thing instead of like, shucks, why did I do that? Or I can't believe that, all that is just to immediately focus on be gentle with yourself. I think that's really good advice, really good. That's a thing we can do. That's a thing we can do to begin to love ourselves a little more today. And you've said you understand this feeling of being trapped like so many mothers are expressing. Oh, Lord. I'm fortunate I don't have children. I had grown daughter girls staying with me for the past 10 months, and they know how to do their own homework. Girls. But I can't even imagine, y'all. I mean, if I had a hat, I'd take it off right now. To those of you who are doing it all, I mean, like, because you didn't go to school to be a teacher. All the people who are having to do all the work and now also teach your kids and be there for your kids, it's overwhelming.
And while you're trying to juggle your own Zoom schedule for work, and while you're trying to be creative and write the emails you need to write and do the things you need to do and get food ordered and have it delivered and wipe it down. And I mean, it's been a little nutty. But luckily, my kids are bigger. My heart really goes out, and I am with you, Oprah. I tip my cap to all the moms of toddlers and little ones. Mine are Sam's almost 9, and then 12 and 15. So they're pretty self-sufficient and great about what they need to do.
I saw your post the other day about how your daughter Serafina was fascinated by the idea of a yes day from a book that she had read, and a day of yes has not only become a family tradition, you loved it so much, it's now a movie.
Yes, 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 yes. This is so much fun. It's what everyone needs is just the feeling of yes. And my daughter Sarah, when she was 3, she was so obsessed with this book. I read it to her every night. It starts off, I'll just show you this one page with all the no's in the calendar. And it's maybe tomorrow, no, nope on a rope over my dead body. And it's no, 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 no. And at the end, it says yes. And she just dreamed of a day where she could ask for a picnic and I would say yes, have ice cream for breakfast and I would say yes, stay up late, camp outside, whatever it is. And so we started doing them then, and we've had 9 now. She's 12. Maybe we missed one in the middle there. They always tell me there's one year I missed, but they're silly and fun and just a great excuse to break the rules. And a couple of years ago, I thought I want to make a movie. I had done a couple of darker characters. I want to put joy in the world. I want to bring joy into my life. I want to just manifest it. And so this is the perfect movie to sit on it's on Netflix on March 12th. And it's the perfect sit on the couch with your family, cozy, cuddle up, smile on your face movie.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. You know, I don't know anybody who doesn't love you. Any conversation that anybody I know I've ever had, they all just talk about what a kind, generous person you are. So what we're seeing on Instagram is just a manifestation, I think, of who you really are in life. So all the best to you. Can't wait to see you and give you a real hug and not just virtually. Thank you so much.
You too, Oprah. Thank you so much. Thanks, you guys. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Galentine's. It is so perfect that Jen Garner dropped by because it is Galentine's Day and she really does feel like she is that friend who we, all love and who will bring you soup. She'll do it. Everybody I know who knows Jen says the same thing. She brings you soup when you can't get out of bed. She's always, always so thoughtful. Galentine's Day is meant to be a celebration of the love between friends. So anyone invite their bestie to join the Zoom today? Anybody do that on Zoom with your besties? I know my bestie Gail is out there somewhere. You know how I feel about best friends. I always say I never needed therapy because I have Gail. Imagine what it would feel like if you treated yourself with the kind of love that you feel for your closest friends. Creating a stronger, healthier, more connected life begins by becoming your own best friend. That's not just a slogan or a quote or some rhetoric, it's the truth. So are you able to bring yourself joy? Can you be your own solace or offer yourself comfort rather than criticism, or do what Jen said, say, stop the negative talk, be gentle with yourself. Maybe you stepped on a scale recently or tried to button your pants after spending months working from your kitchen table and you were disappointed. I have had that experience, so you just get another pair of pants. That's right. And are you able, as WW teaches, to treat yourself with compassion? Having reverence for yourself is what I mean when I say, be the love you need. And that's a beautiful word. Think about that for a moment, that word reverence. Do you have reverence? Do you revere yourself? It's a powerful thing to have reverence for yourself. I want to introduce now Dr. Shefali. Now, if you don't know who she is, oh my goodness. She's a clinical psychologist, the author of a trailblazing new book coming soon called A Radical Awakening. I have read it. I'm telling you, you should pre-order it now if you want a radical awakening, a shakeup in your life. Her earlier book, though, let me just tell you, The Conscious Parent, changed the way I think about parenting forever. I think I probably have, I counted the other day because I just gave a book to someone else, 21 copies in my personal private library, because anytime anybody in the world hints that they might be pregnant, I send them a copy of The Conscious Parent. So, best book ever in all the years I've ever been talking to experts on television, which is since 19-something. Dr. Shefali's book on conscious parenting is the best I've ever read. Hi, Dr. Shefali.
Hello, Oprah. Thank you for having me here today.
Great to see you. So will you please share with us the radical awakening of what it means to be the love you need. What does that mean to you? It's so powerful.
You know, this conversation around being the love you need is one of the most profound and pivotal conversations we can have. So I'm so glad to be part of it. You know, as a clinical psychologist, I have observed that not being this love is the cause, the ultimate cause of our human suffering. Across the board, as a psychologist, I have observed family after family that there is one common human denominator, and that is the childhood abduction of our authentic self. You know, as children, we were raised to be puppets and minions and soldiers in our parents' and culture's army, to fit into the boxes that they imposed on us. And because of this, we gave up our authentic self. We suppressed our truth. We became anything they wanted us to be. Oh, you want me to be a pleaser? Okay. You want me to be a comedian? Okay. You want me to never show my feelings? Okay. You want me to control and micromanage and overachieve and produce? Okay. And so we split off from this inner truth, this inner knowing, this inner connectivity. And this abduction from true self actually created shame within us, this guilt to be our true self. That's why we women especially, because we especially are trained, it's in our emotional DNA to be lost to ourselves. So we have shame now when we want to reclaim that true self. So this radical awakening that we need to go through is this epiphany that this true self is a stranger to us. And we've been looking for her or him through our food, through our lovers, through our children, through our beauty, through our body. And really this reclamation.
Through our things, through the acquisition of our things. And you know, oftentimes, as you state in the very beginning of Radical Awakening, it takes something major in your life to shake you up and wake you up. Because, you know, I just celebrated 67 years going around the sun, and I've been paying attention and listening all of these years to all the great people I've had the opportunity to speak to in so many different walks of life. And one of the things that I know is that the universe, the forces of life, are always trying to guide you to your best self. That's why you're here. And when you don't pay attention, when you allow that authentic self to be smothered, to be covered, to be shown in other ways, to behave the way other people want you to, it is constantly, the forces of life are constantly, consistently trying to move you choice by choice in the direction of your best, truest self. And sometimes it takes a major accident. Sometimes it takes something tragic to happen in order to wake you up.
That false self, I liken it to the shell of an egg. So it is going to keep cracking in order for the truth to emerge. So sometimes it takes this epiphany, this pain portal that we're in right now, this pandemic, to birth us into our authentic self, where we realize that in order to be the love we need to endorse ourselves more than any other. We need to care about our intimate communion with our voice more than another's voice. Our approval of ourselves matters more than another's. And when we arrive at this place, this radically awakened place, now we are ready to embrace our sovereign truth. But it takes so much undoing because culture's voice, our parents' shame, their guilt, their unmet dreams, their unmet expectations, that is the inner plague. And the real diet, the real awakening comes when we change that inner tape and disrupt those patterns.
Okay, you say that we must honor our worth by asking at least one question. And what is that question?
Well, in every moment, we have to understand that we can align with who it is we truly are. So every choice can match how we truly feel. So we need to ask, does this role, does this yes, does this no, does this choice match with how I truly wish to feel. And when we turn inward and keep checking in with our truth, with our voice, and let go of the false voices, now we begin to align with our authentic truth.
Well, I know that for so many people who are joining us today, you make choices, because I did this for years. You make choices not based upon what you feel. You make choices based upon what you feel you have to do. This sense of responsibility, this sense of obligation. So how, I think that's a beautiful question, but not everybody is in a position of their life where they can just make choices that are in alignment with how they feel. I now do that, but it has taken me years to get to that point. It's not like, oh, I'm going to hear you say this, and now tomorrow I'm just going to make choices that are in alignment with exactly how I feel.
Because we've been trained to do things on the outside. We've been trained to be attuned to the external voice. So what we are talking about today is a paradigm shift, that we need to now stop the doing and stop the external craving and shift it around to the internal and the being. This is the paradigm shift. And yes, we have to go on a journey. We have to reclaim that truth, because we have so left that inner child on the sidewalks of our childhood in puddles of tears with broken teddy bears. So now this journey involves going back on this quest to reclaim who we left behind. But until we do this, Oprah, we will be foraging the earth for love and worth on the outside, from lovers to Botox to butt implants to careers. We'll be searching. But it's right here, and this is the paradigm shift that we have to go through.
I know. The Wizard of Oz, I mean, one of the greatest spiritual teachings. Everybody's out here looking for the yellow brick roads in their life, and it's always, always right here in your own heart, in your own backyard. Now, I know you believe that by sharing, Dr. Shefali, our stories, we collectively rise. So let's do that now by getting out our workbooks together and learning where we are on our self-love scale. This is just a fun assessment of how you think about yourself and the love you have for your own person. Today's workbook pages were included in the email that we sent you all when you registered at www.com, Your Life in Focus. So you can still go there now to register and get your workbook, including all you folks watching on Facebook and YouTube. But if you don't want to do that, we're also going to put the pages up on the screen, and you can either write down your answers at home, or if you're on the Zoom, you can enter your answers at the prompts on your phone or laptop. And then Zoom is going to tally our collective scores so that we can all find out how we're doing in loving ourselves. Okay, look at the top of your workbook. This is the love intention that I want you to remember as we move through this exercise. So the ability to give ourselves the love we need is the most valuable gift we'll ever receive. All love begins with the love we have for ourselves, showing ourselves loving kindness when we get off track. Like Jen said, be gentle with yourself. Tenderness in times of trouble. Reverence in both moments of elation and uncertainty help us to become stronger and ultimately healthier in all ways. This is how we're going to score. First, number 1 is not me at all. Number 2 is sometimes me. And number 3 is often that's me. Number 4 is, that's me. Okay. Now, read through each question and select what most resembles you. And then we're going to register that into the Zoom poll. Or you can just write it down on a piece of paper. Okay? Remember, this is a check-in to give you an idea of where you are in this moment. Number 1, I appreciate and accept myself at any point in my wellness journey. Is that not you at all? Is that sometimes you? Often that's me? Or number 4, that's me. Okay? I appreciate and accept myself at any point in my wellness journey. All right? Number 2, I have a self-care ritual that is important to me, and I make time in my day to prioritize and practice it. Is that not you, sometimes you, often you, or that's you? Number 3, when I get off track, overindulge in a favorite food, hello potatoes, or skip a workout, spend more money than my budget allows, I'm able to change course without a lot of negative self-talk. Is that you? Sometimes, often, not. Number 4, when I am alone, I rarely feel lonely. I am able to create joy for myself. Have a great party of one. Is that you? Sometimes, often, not. Number 5, when uncertainty takes over, I practice patience, giving myself the time I need to understand the situation as best I can. Not me at all, sometimes me, often that's me, Okay? Don't forget to scroll down and hit submit at the end if you're doing this on Zoom. Now everybody add up your score. And we're going to talk about what those scores mean. Okay, raise your hand if you scored a 5 to 8. Raise your hand, let me see you. 5 to 8, anybody on here? 5 to 8. Rebecca, did you raise your hand? Yeah, Rebecca, no, you did not raise your hand. Okay. Nobody scored 5 to 8. This is good. Oh, George, did I see your hand there? Tell me what? Hi, George. There's George there in a burgundy sweater, it looks like, guys. Pull him up.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you, George. Go ahead, we can all hear you.
So, yeah, I scored an 8, which I was like going, maybe I could change one of my answers and get back above 8. But I didn't. I was honest with myself. And yeah, I do well for the most part. And then when I do start to fail or start to go off track, I kind of go, just keep going, don't worry about it, just keep going, and I let myself go worse, and then I feel worse about it. So it's kind of like a ritual, a perpetual thing. I go, if I fail, I keep going till I feel worse, and then I feel totally terrible. But then usually the next day I can pick myself up again. But it's
what about that beautiful advice we just got from Jennifer Garner about being able to tell yourself, be gentle with yourself, George. Well, so George, this is what your score and everybody else who scored 5 to 8 says about you. It seems like there's an opportunity to actually show yourself more love, and this will help make it more likely to achieve what you want, replacing, as we've just said, negative self-talk with some kinder thoughts. Be gentle with yourself. Can begin to shift your mindset, help you feel just a little better in the moment, and that's all you need is a little and then a little more, and before you know it, your whole vibration has changed. So thank you so much, George, for being honest enough to share that. Eileen from Illinois scored also an 8 and describes life right now as just spinning plates and says it feels impossible to put herself first. Tell us about that, Eileen.
Hi, Oprah. So during the pandemic, that's completely accurate. I feel like I'm doing nothing but constantly spinning plates between homeschooling, cooking, cleaning, bedtime, bath time, and most importantly to my children is the role of snack servant. And it's like Groundhog Day every day.
Snack servant. I love that term. So you managed to get everybody out for this morning. How'd you do that?
Well, you'll be surprised how easy it is to find a babysitter when Oprah's involved. That's the truth, because I haven't had this in a long time. So thank you, Oprah. Virtual high five.
Enjoy. So, Dr. Shefali, you say, because you've heard a bit of Eileen's story, our producer shared with you, and you say that Eileen is using control to keep herself distracted. Explain that. I think Eileen is overwhelmed like so many people.
Yes, and because she's spinning out of control on the inside, that's what we women do, especially as us mothers, because we don't allow ourselves to honor what's going on the inside. We get lost in the doing and the caregiving and the helicoptering and over managing on the outside until the helicopter crashes to the ground. So Eileen was able to drop some of her plates this morning when she's coming on with Oprah. And this is a perfect symbol of how we give up ourselves because we don't think of ourselves as worthy. But she considered this moment with you worthy, so now she could drop some of those plates. So those spinning plates really are a sign and symbol of her inner world. You know, our outer world reflects the inner world. So the only way for Eileen to let go of this control that she's trying to manage everything and do it all perfectly. These are the masks we women wear: over competency, over perfectionism, overdoing, overachieving, over caretaking. Until we drop those masks, drop those roles, there will be no space for the real quest, the real mastery, which is the inner mastery of her inner world that is really spinning out of control.
What do you want to say to that, Eileen?
You know what? I feel there's a lot of valid points, that there's so much going on. I almost feel like I'm constantly in turmoil because I'm everything to this house, you know, the teacher, the cook, the cleaner, and I've always loved and appreciated teachers so much. I really appreciate them more now than ever because I've taken on their position, and I know how hard they're working because doing anything in real life and then doing something on Zoom are two different things. Being in person is so much easier. And I wish I didn't have to have all this control that I have to have. And all these, wish I didn't have to wear all these hats that I do, but I do. So I'm just trying to stay afloat and survive and keep my kids healthy during a pandemic. And it's just really difficult right now. Life is never as difficult as it is now.
Dr. Shefali, and you know, one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you, Eileen, is because you represent a world of other people. You are speaking, snap your fingers, nod your head. Is she not speaking for almost everybody here today? And, you know, it's easy for anyone to say, you know, you need to start looking inward and you need to drop some of the things that you're doing. So how do you do it? Which is one of the most important lessons I learned in the 25 years on the Oprah show, is that how you begin to do that is the key. Because it's not going to happen all at one time. So Dr. Shefali, what is the one thing Eileen and every one of us listening today who feels some of that spinning can begin to do?
Well, if there's one thing I need people to recognize, is that this outer doing is a distraction that we have created in order to feel worthy. And if we don't get it, that it's not really that we have to be the perfect teacher, we have to be the perfect parent, our children need to be fantastic students. It is not that. That is how we have fooled ourselves, because this is how we were trained to get an identity for ourselves, to get love for ourselves.
But your children need to eat. Your children need to eat.
They need to eat, but if they can't eat gourmet food today, they cannot eat gourmet food. If the kid cannot get an A grade, they cannot get an A grade. We must first be sane and healthy on the inside. The achievement and the perfection has to go. That is a false way we have been trained to get love, and we're getting distracted. And this pandemic is telling us, hey, slow down.
Slow down.
Let it go. The world is not perfect the way you thought. You are not in control. Death is around the corner. Step into the now. And this is a wake-up call. And we must shed those old roles of overdoing and overachieving. Our children are suffering because of it, and we are suffering. So it's not.
We need a longer conversation. We need a longer conversation about this, because I know this for sure. that this pandemic is here to help us move forward into the light. And if we don't use this moment, the moment will be lost forever. And, you know, I hate to think of what shows up next if we didn't listen to this. But Eileen, I just want to say that what it took to get, I'm looking at your background and what it took to get your house this clean on a Saturday morning. May the Lord bless you for that. It's unbelievable.
Thank you, Oprah.
I mean, there isn't a speck of nothing, really. Incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to our scores. Who scored a 9 to 12? Keep your hands up. Okay, I see you, Jeannie. Jeannie right there. 9 to 12? Hello? Tell me what's going on, Jeannie. That's Jenny, odd. It says odd Jenny. Hi.
Me.
Yeah. We hear you. Yeah, I do hear you. Okay. It's happening.
Morning.
Where are you zooming from?
Stockton, California.
Oh, good. Hey.
Yeah.
So 9 to 12. It's probably easier for you to forgive others than it is to forgive yourself. Yet there's no reason not to direct the same or more kindness and compassion your way. What's going on in your life?
I find that I give advice to my friends, but I can't take my own advice. And I've always been that way, but it's so hard to like listen to what I want to say to people and hear it for myself. It's really difficult to get past that. And it's something I have started working on. I finally reached out and started speaking to someone to get my mental health on track. So we've started talking about that and giving myself positive enforcement to say, yeah, you have struggled, but here are why you've succeeded and what you're good at, what you've done so far. It's okay that mistakes have happened, but you're moving forward and they are making you who you are. So it's okay. So to embrace those mistakes, but also learn from them.
Well, the fact that you're here this morning and that you are self-aware enough to be able to express that means that you are obviously on the right track. So give yourself a big high five for that. Jenny, give yourself, as we're going to give you a big high five for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Patrice scored a 9 and says that negative self-talk takes over when she gets off track. What's going on, Patrice?
Hi, Oprah. Hi, Dr. Shefali. Me supporting myself is really a work in progress. I try to be kind to myself, but then the negative self-talk and constantly comparing myself to others kicks in. To help fix that, in 2020, I made a vision board. On the vision board, I decided to focus on my career, losing weight, and finding a romantic partner. Then the vision board went completely out the window. I tried to stop the negative self-talk, continue with that, continue with the vision board, but I just feel stuck. And I'm wondering, what should I do?
Dr. Shefali.
Well, the thing about these vision boards is that it's gotten us all confused. So I think I want to challenge us all to create a completely revolutionary, transformed vision board. Most of our vision boards are about who we want to be in the future. And because they are about who we want to be, it's about who we are not in the present. Right there are two big mistakes. One, it's future-based. Two, it's lack-based. Then we often put a perfect body on the vision board, or a mansion, or a Bentley. Again, we're focusing on objects, not feelings. So the external, the lack, and objects takes us further away from the present moment. So instead of the vision boards that you're creating, and we have been trained to create, let's create a new daily vision board for the now. So these are the kinds of questions that we can begin asking instead of just pasting pretty looking, shiny, glossy things on the vision board. We can ask each day, who am I today? Am I being my truest self today? And what do I want more of in my life right now so that I can be more authentic? What do I not want more in my life right now so that I can be my truest self? What do I need to do now to arrive at a new inner state of being. And when we begin to focus on the being state in the moment, in the present, now we shift from craving and lack and the what if in the future to the now, to the abundant, to the plenitude, to the what is. It is a return to the present moment, Oprah. I mean, we have to train and retrain our mental muscle because we've been so conditioned to look out there. We need to now start pointing that finger to the inner state of alignment every single day. Yes, it's a moment by moment practice.
So I agree, and you said this at the very beginning too, that it's a daily journey, and it's an ongoing process, and it never stops. But do you not think that having long-term goals, are you saying that a person shouldn't have a long-term goal or vision or idea about what they want to do in the future?
They can, but it can be a trap because then you're just focused on something way out there. And in the moment, that doesn't match up. So I rather us shift the paradigm to let's start with the present moment. Is my current moment aligned? Expand that to the current home situation, to the current relationship, to the current career. Stay very tight and connected to who am I now and eradicate all that I am not now. And as you begin saying no to the dysfunctional, to the toxic, to the unworthiness that we feel, to the shame, as we start letting that go and shedding that, now the true self emerges with power and might. And the true self begins to tell you, now go next to that place, now go there. It's a very intimate connection.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So what you're saying is that you want to be able to have a vision for your future, but have every step that you take, every choice that you make in the now move you in the direction of that, so that you're not focused on what's out there, but you're focused on what's happening in this moment. That's a great way to live, is to have the vision, but let you agree?
But Oprah, look at what this pandemic showed us. We were so ready to go to Tahiti and Bali and all these fancy places in 2020 in the summer. I know I was. And the pandemic showed us there is no future. There never was a future. There never will be a future. The only time zone we have is the present. So it has been the most marvelous wisdom teacher, albeit through pain, because we humans seem to be suckers for pain. Yeah. We only seem to really crack that egoic shell through pain. But look what it's taught us. There is no future. So I teach all my clients, your thoughts are about the future, and they're based in lack. These are the two things we do, future and lack. Come back to the present. Where are we now? How do we clean up our life in the now? What do we take out in the now? And I'm telling you, when you reorient your life to the present moment, you not only emerge more sovereign, you also allow yourself to play with life. You know, when you get fixated on that outcome, on that four-year college, on that Ivy League education, on that skinny body, then you're not open to something that could happen like this pandemic. When we are open in the now we can play with the now. Now we can enjoy in the now. We're not just fixated on, oh, my future did not happen. We stop living based in the future. We must focus and expand our consciousness to the present.
Yeah, the now, that's been the greatest teaching, most beneficial lesson I ever received, is being able to just be in this present moment. And it's actually what's gotten me through the pandemic, is just focusing on how I'm feeling right now, not what's going to be a month from now or 2 months from now. None of us would have predicted that we'd be still in this situation 11 months later. And I've gotten through it just concentrating on the present moment. Is this helpful to you, Patrice? Has this been helpful?
Yes, this has been extremely helpful, and something I've actually been working on with a counselor. So she's been trying to get me to see that, but the way you explained it really brought it home a little better. So thank you both.
Okay, and you don't even have to pay me. No counseling fees here for me or Dr. Shefali. Okay, thank you so much. Bless you in the journey. Okay, back to scoring. How about a 13 to 17? That means 13 to 17? Oh, that makes sense. All of y'all on here. Hello, Alexandra up there with your 15. Self-love is definitely part of your personal toolkit. Means you use it often. Hello, I see you, Jamie. But there are those moments where more self-acceptance without judgment could work well for you. Think about what helps you. Show your self-love. Identify ways to bring that into life in tough moments. Okay, that means y'all are doing really okay. 13 to 17, really doing okay on the journey. Of course you would be. That's why you're up here on a Saturday morning. Okay, who got 18 to 20? Hands clapping, because you're giving yourself the love that you need. I see you, Joyce. Very good, very good. By regularly practicing acceptance of and kindness towards yourself, you have lots of space to take in love, being the best version of yourself. Jocelyn, was that you too? You scored 18 to 20? Jocelyn in red? Nope, okay. 19, I see there. Coach Brooks. Coach Brooks, you need to score 19. You're a coach, okay? Okay. Fantastic, guys. Okay, let's see how everyone did as a whole. 5% on Zoom, we're 5 to 8. That means, of course, because if you're on this Zoom, it means you're moving in the direction of giving yourself the love you need. Those of you who are 5 to 8, we're happy to have you here because it means more self-love is needed. 29% scored 9 to 12, 47% were in the 13 to 17 range, and 19% were 18 to 20. That's our self-love success story for this morning. Dr. Shefali, I can't, you know, I could talk to you forever. I can't wait to talk to you on Super Soul about your book, Radical Awakening. I think the world needs to know and needs to hear what you have to say. Again, I say Conscious Parenting, best book ever for anybody who's having a baby, has children. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Radical Awakening coming soon. You can pre-order it at radicalawakening.com. I've read it and I got to tell you, life enhancing. One of those books that you'll end up keeping on your nightstand and want to refer to over and over. Recently, WW and I announced that we'll be creating virtual experiences like this one in the future. On a regular basis. And the reason we did that is because we know the importance of establishing a ritual together in order to create lasting change. So my hope is to help you all use this time to tune out the noise, turn up the volume of your life, of your inner life, with what you most desire. Or as Grammy Award winning singer and WW Global Ambassador Ciara might say, level up. Welcome, Ciara.
Hi, Oprah.
Oh, great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you. Where are you zooming from?
I'm in San Diego.
Oh, in San Diego. Great to see you. Love seeing you at that great football game the other day. It was great with the Super Bowl. You know, I believe in the power of intention, and when you are very clear in stating your goals, the world rises up to conspire to meet you. That's what the alchemist taught us. And you couldn't have been more clear, I think, when you posted on Instagram last year that you wanted to lose 48 pounds after the birth of your baby, and then you and WW found each other, and that's how the universe works. So where are you now in your journey, Ciara?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll just tell you, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I say that because, you know, I had a moment where I had to give myself a little grace. We went on a couple of vacations, and so I kind of ate a few more desserts than I should have. But the beautiful thing about the WW program is, you know, Oprah, is that it goes right with you. It's forgiving. It's not stressful. You don't feel pressure, you know, and I get right back in and I start logging my numbers. And this week I'm actually back on track, like all the way on track. And so I'm excited. I'm feeling really good about where I'm going. And I just want to get to that next. I'm ready to close this thing out. I'm literally probably, I'd say, have like about 18 more pounds or so left. So I'm also enjoying the process, and I think that's what's
to
really
reach your
fun
goal. To reach your goal.
Yeah,
but you
goal.
look so. Yeah, but Ciara, like right now inside your body, first of all, you look fantastic to all of us. And how are you feeling inside yourself?
Oh my goodness, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like my best self, to be honest. And with this pregnancy in particular, I really chose to embrace every step of the process. Like, I'm really enjoying my curves. I actually want to hold on. I'm like, I think my goal may change this go around versus what I used to want my goals to be. Like, I think I may want to hold on to 5 more pounds than I normally would. But because I'm really loving where I am, I'm embracing every bit of the process. And it is somewhat a new me, you know, and I've had 2 babies before my most recent one. And again, I was a bit more intense in my thoughts and about my goals. And I just realized, like, literally sometimes you have to step back and look at where you are and say, I'm actually doing all right. I'm actually doing good. Like, I'm loving this extra, like the extra, my love handles or my hips. I'm loving every bit of it. And to the point to where I've done a few cover shoots that I probably would have never done back in the days, because I would have felt like I had to be back to my base weight. I had to be back like to a certain size, but it's like, you know what? Love every step of the process, embrace every step of the process. And I just feel so much more empowered because of that.
Well, and I love that you were talking about when you got back on track, which actually tracking, but when you have too many desserts or you binge a little, it's not like the end of the world, because this isn't a diet. It's a way of living that does exactly what you have done, and that is helps you get back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lifestyle. It's about total wellness. It's about the big picture. And again, that's a part of life. You got to allow yourself to enjoy the process, enjoy yourself. Like, it's okay to have a little fun. You need to have a little fun. I think if we're so intense about everything, we'll be going crazy. And especially in this pandemic and being a mom of 3, it's like, I got to give grace. You got to give grace in the process.
That's a beautiful word. And somebody put that this morning.
Yeah, and like we say with the WW program, it's really easy and it's really fun, and you also get to learn a lot on the app, which is really cool. I'm like, oh, that food is only 0 points. Like, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so you get to learn a lot in the process as well, which is really fun.
Yeah, what I've learned is to track look up what the points are before you eat it, because after it's when you find out, oh, that was 14 points. Not good.
Exactly. You're like,
not good, raisins. Not good.
Exactly. I go I felt so good about that meal. That meal was it didn't feel like it was crazy. And then like you say, you discover, you're like, oh, those points are really high. Or like cheese. Like, cheese can add more points. I'm like, what the world, right? So, but you're right.
Get the cheese.
Yourself, and it helps
cheese and peanut butter. I have learned to live not on the tablespoon version of the peanut butter, but a teaspoon can go a long way. You can get that teaspoon to go across the whole piece of toast. That's what I've learned to do.
That's exactly it. And you start to kind of train yourself or condition yourself to knowing you don't need as much as you thought you needed. Once you
absolutely, that's the thing.
Gradually cut back.
Well, Ciara and NFL star husband Russell Wilson welcomed a 3rd baby last July. Little Wynn, what a great name. Wynn Harrison, who joins Big Brother Future and Big Sister Sienna. Now, you recently shared the prayer that you said that brought Russell into your life. And one of our team members, Joseph, said, the single people out there need to know what that prayer was. Could you share that prayer?
This prayer thing, I mean, it's so funny, but it is real. I won't say I share the exact things that I said, but I'll give you the idea. I was at a very critical place in my life. I was a single mom, and I was just really wanting to envision where I wanted to go at life. And at that point, when you have a child, the word responsibility becomes really real, and there's really no room to kind of play around. And so I just kind of thought about, okay, where I've been, what I've gone through, and what I don't want to go through anymore. And I was intentional in my thoughts. I wanted a man of God. I wanted a man that loved kids, because obviously I had kids, a man that also loved the world, loved being an adventurer, like loved, exploring, like all the things that I desired. I was kind of declaring it and praying and being intentional in my thoughts about that guy or that person. And it became so real to the point where you could taste I could taste what I was envisioning. It's like I could see it, and therefore automatically in that same breath, I saw what I knew what I didn't want. And I knew when I would see what I didn't want, and I would know it wasn't what I wanted. And so there was just, I just was intentional in my thoughts and intentional in my prayers. And I was ready to level up, for lack of better words. I was ready to go to the place that I deserved, to the place that I desired, the place that I hoped for. I was ready for it. And so that also, I think, was critical in the process. And there, you talk about self-love. There was a self-love phase for me that I thought it was important not to try to be in a relationship. It was important for me to take care of myself. And at that point, I was going to get my balance back. I was going to get my sexy on. I was like, I'm not going to be a single mom out here holding on to all this, the excess weight that I had gained. And I was like, you know what? I want to go to another place I've never gone before. And I committed to that. And that was my own personal goal. So it was really me more so envisioning where I wanted to go, speaking life into where I wanted to go, writing down where I wanted to go, and then pressing go to get there. So yeah, that's kind of like a lot of my thoughts that I had going on at that time. And it was game changing because once I committed to all of it, it just literally started to happen just gradually and at the perfect pace for me.
Well, as you know, we've been working on our workbook this morning, Ciara, and will you stay and do the next exercise with us?
Of course, I'd love to.
Okay, everybody, take out your workbook pages right now. Right below the self-love score, you'll see a gratitude space to write down 3 things that you're grateful for today. I started doing this years ago, and I will tell you, you want to change your vibrational frequency. You want to change your ability to create abundance in your life. Gratitude is it. That's how you do it. And you start with being grateful with the smallest of things. I've actually started replacing the word gratitude now with delight after reading this book by Ross Gay called The Book of Delights. Delight is one of my favorite words because I know gratitude gets overused a lot now. I remember in the 90s when I first started asking people to do this, nobody even knew what we're talking about. Now everybody talks about gratitude. But once I started living in this space of being thankful for the smallest of things, I can't tell you how, you all can see a lot of the rewards that I've received. And a lot of the rewards that I received, you can't see because they're internal. But I feel blessed all the time, no matter what the circumstances, because of this practice of gratitude, especially during a pandemic. And I have seen that when I was not as faithful in being grateful, or at least conscious about being grateful, things seem to go awry. And I would say, what is going on with me? And I think, I haven't been disciplining myself with this practice of gratitude. It is literally my strongest spiritual practice. So whether you call it gratitude or thankful or my new favorite word, delight, take a moment to write 3 things that you are delighted by, that you are grateful for. And Ciara, I want you to share what you wrote.
All right, so I have down first, I am grateful for breath. Just simply the gift of being able to breathe. My husband and I get to go to the...
Can you all hear Ciara? I can't hear her.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Stop a second.
Okay.
I can't hear Ciara. Can you all hear? Okay, I can't.
Can you guys hear me now?
Okay, you all can?
Okay.
Okay, now I can. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. I was just saying I'm grateful for the gift of I'm grateful for the gift of being able to breathe, for breath. I'm grateful for breath, being able to, just take a breath, knowing how much of a blessing that is. My husband and I, we get to go to the Seattle Children's Hospital, and we deal with patients of many kinds, some that are, literally on their deathbed, to those that are fighting for their lives. And you just go, I'm just thankful to breathe. I'm grateful for breath. So that's my first one that I have. Then I also have, of course, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my family. It's a blessing to be with them, especially in this pandemic. You know, they talk about finding the silver linings. That's been mine. And because I know I'd be running all over the place otherwise. And so in the midst of the chaos, just being able to spend time with my kids day in and day out. And it gets crazy. It's not always pretty, but it's a blessing to be with my kids and to be with my husband more than we've ever been able to because of the pandemic. It put us in these four walls together. And I'm grateful for that. And then thirdly, I'm grateful to wake up doing what I love doing and knowing that what I do blesses me with the opportunity to give back to others. I'm just grateful for that because I know it's a blessing concerning all that we're going through. And I'm driven to find ways to keep, taking my blessings and blessing others with them and finding ways to give back. I'm super driven to do that because I know the circumstances could be different. And I'm humbled in this process as well because I know where I came from. And so I just, those are my three things that I have. Breath.
I love that. I love that. And we never forget where we came from. That's why success feels so great when you've worked to get there and you never forget how you got there. Thank you for sharing that. I wrote health because, first of all, I spent 321 days at home without leaving, and recently left, went to Maui for my birthday, and then came back to do this with all of you all today. But 321 days, and with Stedman and our, daughter girls from South Africa. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience in terms of getting to know each other and bonding as a family. And I say this, a year ago, last year, I think I was in San Francisco or getting ready to go to LA with the WW tour. And during that tour, I think I was in stadiums all total like 120,000 people, shaking hands, dancing, laughing in people's faces, people in my faces, selfies. And that's when the pandemic was moving through the world and our country. And every day it makes my eyes water. I thank God that I remained healthy through that everybody on our team remained healthy through that. That's when we thought, hand sanitizing ourselves would make us safe. Nobody was wearing a mask, and we were in each other's faces. So health is number one for me. Being able to have this digital experience with you all, top of the list. Being able to share in community, be of like minds with each other, means so much to me. And just the thing that Dr. Shefali was expressing, I have learned to live in the present moment and be content no matter what that moment is showing for me. And so however I can offer that in grace, in blessings, in knowledge to the rest of you who are here seeking that for yourselves, that higher ground for yourselves, I feel like such a blessing. Thank you so much, Ciara, for sharing yourself, your light, and your wisdom with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. And I just want to give a shout out to all the moms out there. I want you guys to know that you are not alone in your journey. Even for me, I like I say, it's not the prettiest every day. I can be a teacher's assistant at this point. We've all had to deal with the virtual schooling for our kids, but we're really built for it all. God has blessed you with the ability to persevere and to go through everything you go through. You are built for it all. So I want you to know that and be encouraged by that you have the stuff. You got all it takes. And again, it's not going to be pretty every day, but you can really push through, and you will if you speak life. I'm a believer that when you speak, you have a chance to tell your life story. So when you speak, say great things. I can, therefore I will. I am, therefore I can. Words are so powerful. So speak life into where you are. Speak life in your trials. There's a scripture I say, a scripture that we love here. Consider it pure joy when you face trials and tribulations of many kinds, for the testing of your faith produces perseverance. James 1-4. Consider it pure joy in the midst of the storm we're going through right now, because it's going to be great on the other side if you keep your faith strong. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that. And thank you for having me, Oprah. It's a blessing and honor to speak with you today. And I'm proud to be
such a joy to have you as an ambassador. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, a few weeks ago, I happened to see a photo of somebody who joined us last spring for our virtual experience. At the time, she just started her wellness journey, and I'm telling you, I did not recognize her. I did not. I saw this photo. Somebody said, "Look at Kym," and I said, "Kym who?" So we called her and said, "Hey, Kym, will you please check in and tell us how you doing?" Here she is, Kym Whitley. Oh my. Hi, girl.
How you doing? That's funny. You're like, who is that?
I said, who? Kym who? Kym who? So you joined us for our virtual experience last spring, and you just started, and now you're actually glowing. I hear you said you've had your own wellness awakening. You're down
29, I want to say 30, but it's 20, 29, 30, a lot. And
then on one foot, it's 30.
Let's take that.
But the real thing is not even the number. It's about how you feel now. You made a list laying out exactly what you're doing. I think that's what is so inspiring to people. So let's hear what that list is. This is Kym's How I Did It list.
How I did it, and first I got to say, thank you to you and WW. I'm delighted in this journey and how I did that. I learned my new word. Well, I had to, last year when we started this, I didn't, I wasn't really a believer. I'll be honest with you. I was like, here we go again, and I did something like what I found out with this program is that doing something that takes the smallest effort got me the biggest results. And I'm still just delighted. And my first thing is I closed down the refrigerator, closed down the kitchen at night. You gotta close it down. I take water, grapes, WW popcorn, and all my work to my bedroom. I don't walk past the refrigerator because it calls me. It's like, come here, Kym, feed me. Yeah, so take everything. And you just go in your room, do your work, don't go back in.
So you have a rule. So 8 o'clock is your shutdown time. 8 o'clock is your shutdown.
Shutdown. But I have some healthy snacks with me because I'm a snacker, but it's okay if you just take some little things and some water, because if I'm reading a book, I'm watching TV, it's just a habit. But you do not go in the kitchen. It is shut down. Matter of fact, no one else go in the kitchen. I don't want to smell food, but I just shut it down.
Okay.
That's number one. And then number two is I found these great recipes on the app, but I make a slow cooker meal once a week. Like I make the taco soup or the vegetable soup, which is fantastic because even with the taco soup, I take the WW tortilla chips and crunch them on top. Fantastic. And this is a meal that I can eat on the run, and my son loves it.
Crunch too. I love the tortilla chips on because I have just a little crunch in my soup. If I just have the soup, I feel like I haven't had a meal. But if I have the crunch, I feel like I've had a meal.
I feel like I've had a meal, and those right there, it's a WW thing, and it's not, you feel good and you're full. So I love that, and the whole family loves it. So that's great. Number three is water. I didn't believe in water. Okay. But water. I keep 2 bottles of like the 8-ounce water by my bed. So as soon as I wake up, you down both of those. And I started with 1 bottle. It was very difficult, but water, even when I'm gonna be honest, go over my points. When I increase my water, it still makes things better. It doesn't show up like you have a good week. So water. And the biggest thing I learned is we have to move. Now, I don't work out. I started last year, I couldn't do 5 minutes on the elliptical, but I started where I was. Like I was okay with that. 5 minutes, I did it. I did 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. But then I found out I talk on the phone too much, Oprah. So by the time I talk on the phone 2 hours to my friends, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes, I could have been walking. So now I get on the phone and I walk around the kitchen. I walk around the yard. I just walk as I'm talking because then now I've had my conversation, put the phone on speaker, and I've moved for 30 minutes. Because that's all I do is talk on the phone. Why not work out at the same time? If you get on the
that is really good. That's that to at least move while you're on the phone. I mean, if everybody just did a little bit of that, big changes. You know, seeing someone's then and now photos are always motivating, but when you actually hear what they're doing to be well, it enables you to see the roadmap to possibility for yourself. So Kym, keep the healthy living going. Thank you for being kind enough to join us on this Saturday and share what you're doing.
And I wanted to say thank you so much. And I just want to say, because I saw myself on a TV monitor, Oprah, and it's the first time I saw myself and I said, oh, you're pretty. First time in my life I felt good. So I'm delighted and I'm grateful. Thank you for the journey.
Thank you. Thank you, Kym. Thank you. The beauty was always there. Beauty's always there. And now it's just healthier. Okay. 3 years ago, I sat across from James Corden on his show, and he challenged me to make him cry. Apparently, he heard that sometimes happens. And so...
Charlotte, Carrie, Max. Once on my show, a father said, every father has a dream for his children.
Oh, shut up.
Well, it turns out you did end up crying, and then we laughed a lot. Now it's my turn to interview you, James Corden. I could not be happier to welcome, actually, not even happy, more delighted to welcome Emmy winner, Tony Award winner, and a 2021 Golden Globe nominee, James Corden! Hi, James.
That was a lovely intro. How are you? It's so nice
so
to see
great.
you. How are you doing?
So good. I was actually just so pleased reading about your career, preparing for our little talk this morning, and realized I didn't know until I was doing all this research on you that you have won 10 Emmys already.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm equally as shocked as you are. That's the truth.
Do you have them all in the same place? Do you have them all?
Do you know what? I keep them all in a cupboard. I hide them all away because I don't know that it's necessarily good for me to see them every day and think, look at me. Like, I think that's where you can come unstuck if you start to think you're a bit more of a dude than you really are. So they're all in a cupboard at work, and one day I guess I'll look and take them out and look at them. But right now, I think it's better to always just try and look forward, I think.
Wow, that's so interesting. You know, you've said that you are on a lifelong quest to make your audience happy. And before I read that or heard that, I could feel that in your show. I mean, you know, we share this in common, doing a daily show. And the thing about a daily show, you're only as good as the last show. So it doesn't matter that you had the greatest guest, 2 weeks ago. Tom Cruise can come and jump on your sofa, as was the case with me, but you still got Wednesday. What you gonna do Wednesday? And then Thursday's coming. But I can say that one of the reasons we were number one for 25 years straight is because I intentionally sat with the producers talking about, on a daily basis, before every show and after every show, how do we use this show as a force for good in the world? And I think that the audience could feel that. And I can tell you that whether you have those conversations or not with your producers, I can feel that your intention is to make us feel happier. Your intention is to delight us.
That's so lovely that you would see that intention, because we have always talked about just joy, really. Joy being the currency. Joy is the thing. We just want, as best we can, to be a slice of light, if you like, a bit of levity, whether people are watching it when it's on TV, in the middle of the night, or when they find it on their phone the next day. That's all we ever really want to do, is for it to be as joyful as possible, particularly in this last year where, I don't know, I've really felt very concerned that the amount of our audience that are watching the show on their own and don't have that massive human interaction. So let's try and be the friend the other side of this screen, you know, and know that we're feeling things at the same time, and we're going to try and pick you up whenever we can. That's always been our journey. So coming from you, that means a great deal that you would think that of our show. It really does.
I think that, I feel that, and I think everybody else feels it, whether they've been able to articulate it or not. But because I am so aligned with intention and know that you don't get a result unless the intention was there for what we're feeling and seeing, that it's actual spiritual law that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, and before there is even an action, there's an intention for that action. So that happens all the time with everybody. So what you're looking at the result, and we feel you every night. I love that you tell each carpool karaoke guest that they are in a safe place before you film. I mean,
yeah, we do. We always, yeah, go on.
No, go ahead. I interrupted you.
Oh, yeah, no, we do. We always say, because I think when it really came from when that idea started, which was, we're talking about the biggest stars in the world, you know so well, are never on their own, always surrounded by people, makeup artists, publicists, security guards, managers, assistants, all of these people around them. And here is a segment where we take all of those people away and put them in a follow car, and it's just the two of us talking. And I think when we first started, people were a bit like, "Oh, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing this." And then once it became very successful, people would then come with an element of nerves of like, "Oh, well, these are doing well," and all these things. And so we would just sit at the start, and I would just say, all we want from this is for you to just shine so bright. We want you to look great and feel great. And in truth, all your working day for the next hour and a half or 2 hours or however long we're shooting for is to have a great time. And if you have a great time, then this will be great. And anything at the end of this shoot, if you say, "Oh, that bit, I'm not sure, I want people to know that," it's gone. We're never going to be the show that goes, "Well, you said it and it's good for our ratings." If we want you to feel as comfortable as possible that we're in this together as a collaboration. And I think that's really been part of the success of it, really, is people feeling at ease to talk freely, to be as stupid as possible,
Well, you know what's so incredible about it is and has become a cultural phenomenon. I mean, as many people watch carpool karaoke as watch the Super Bowl. I mean, it's, and I know that when you first started it, you certainly had no idea that was going to happen. It started why? Because?
Well, it started because we were just thinking of how do we, making these shows every day, like you say, you really need your tent poles that prop the show up, really. And we had done a sketch at home for a brilliant charity called Red Nose Day, which is comic relief here in America. And we'd done this sketch, which started with me in a car singing Wham songs with George Michael. And this sketch, loads of people watched it. Loads of people were involved in it. There was ex-prime ministers and Keira Knightley and Paul McCartney and England soccer captains and all these people. But the thing that people would really talk about would be me singing this song with George Michael. And while we were talking about the show, and we'd only just moved to Los Angeles, and all anyone talks about is the traffic. I think because you can't talk about the weather. Do you know what I mean? Yes. The weather is what the weather is every day. So people go, "Oh, how did you come in? Do you come in on the 10 and then take the 6 and the 405?" And I don't.
There was a great, I think, Saturday Night Live skit about that one. Oh my God! Yes,
true.
We talk about the 405 being backed up and the 101 and that's what we do around here.
So we were like, I wonder if there's a sketch where I pick up the biggest stars in the world and they help me get to work using the carpool lane. And then we came up with this name, Carpool Karaoke, where we were like, well, this feels like it's great. And I naively thought, oh, loads of people will want to do this. And then there's a little game we can play, actually, with all of the people that are watching, all of the WW crew that are watching this now, if everybody, just in your head, you don't have to write this down, just think of a recording artist who's alive. Just think of any recording artist, and has everybody got one? Everyone's got one? Yeah. Okay, they said no. And that was it, really. Everybody said no to it. And then, I mean, God bless Mariah Carey for saying yes, because if she hadn't said yes, I don't even know if our show would have been on the air for more than 3 months, you know. She took a real gamble on us, and we will always, always love her for it. Yeah.
Wow. That's funny. Everybody think of a name. Well, they said no. That's really funny.
They did.
Vulnerability is now they don't. Now everybody wants to do it. Vulnerability is something we don't often consider when we think about self-love, but really it's what opens us up to lasting change. And for me, vulnerability is being willing to express the truth, no matter what the truth of who you are, the essence at your core, what you're feeling at any given moment, being able to share that with other people who are worthy of your vulnerability, because you don't just go opening yourself up to everybody. Even though I used to do that every day on the air. But I think one of the reasons for the success of the Oprah show all those years was my ability to truly be myself, which is what we feel from you every night. And you know this, James, that when you're able to do that, you opened a door to a higher, truer expression of who you're meant to be. And I recently was rewatching, in preparation for today, the video you shared when you announced that you were joining WW. This, to me, is the essence of vulnerability.
I wanted to share with you a decision that I've made. I've realized that every year for the past decade, probably even 15 years, on January 1st, I've told myself and anyone that would listen that this is it. This is the year. I'm going on a diet. I'm going to lose a load of weight. I'm fed up with the way I look. I'm fed up with being unhealthy. And this is it. This is the year I'm doing it. And because of that, I've, over Christmas, eaten everything that's in the fridge, because in my head in January, I'm starting this diet and it'll be a success. And as you can see, well, it hasn't. And so I contacted the people at WW and I said, look, can you help me with this? I'm going to do it. I'm going to embark on this year of health because I absolutely believe that they have the tools in place to make this the year that I really do make this change.
Wow. You know, you don't often hear men open up like that. And that was, I could feel the purity of that. And I know you feel that weight loss is a different experience for men than it is for women. How so?
Well, I think because I'm sorry, just even watching that video, it makes me feel quite emotional, if I'm honest, because I really have felt that every year. I really have had that feeling of like, it's the definition of madness, really, isn't it? To just
keep doing the same thing.
Keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results, which is never going to happen. And so I do think as a man, it's historically seen as, it isn't very sexy to say that you're on a diet, or it's not very manly somehow to want to make changes in your own health, because men drink beer and we go out and it doesn't matter what you look like and all those things. And I actually think it's the single most positive and sexy thing you can do to say, I would like to be a bit healthier. I would like to be a healthier presence in my family, for my children. I would like to feel better. And I think what I realized, my biggest issue, my biggest problem has been that I've constantly gone on diets, and I've seen them as diets. The diets that we've all done, you know, a shake in the morning, a shake in the evening, and all that nonsense in between. And they can have for me, they've had a short-term impact where I may have lost 10 pounds in, I don't know, a month. And then 2 months after that, I'm 20 pounds heavier than I was at the start of that thing. And what I realized is that there is no quick fix to this. This is a journey I have to go on where I have to change my relationship with food and change the way that I consume food. And I don't have to starve myself of all of these things that I love and enjoy. What I have to do is be more accountable for what I'm putting in my body and think more about that every day. And I have to say, I found it started on January 2nd. So yeah, I found this past 5 or so weeks incredibly transformative for me. I've really, really enjoyed it in a way that I've never enjoyed a diet before, really. And part of that feels like, I think, because I wanted to put that video out there, maybe subconsciously to make me really do it. I found it a lot easier than I thought. And a lot of that is genuinely down to, I think what I've realized is that this isn't just connected to food, but in this sense, let's do that. As soon as you open yourself out to people and say, this is how I'm feeling, and I think I might be struggling with this, you will be met by a wave of people going, how can I help? Whereas if I hold on to those things and I'm, you know, eating stuff out the fridge at midnight and then feeling rubbish about it, then you're never going to get that support unless you sort of ask for it. Like, my wife has been incredible in this. In my whole journey with food, she's been really, really amazing with me. And I've really found this past 5 weeks like I'm on the start of a journey that I'm determined to finish, and I feel that I can. Am I talking too much? Have you all disappeared?
No, I love that. So you said to our producers, everybody's like applauding, and I saw some amens in the corner there from Alice. And thank you all for showing the love here to James, because we've all felt this. We have all felt that this is going to be the year. Monday's going to be the day. And year after year, you tell yourself the same thing, and it's the cabbage soup, and it's the military diet, and it's the green shakes, and it's the thing that we all here love about WW is it's really not a diet, as Kym was saying. It's a shift in the way you see your relationship with food, and it's there to help keep you on track. So how has it been different for you this year than every other year that you've made that promise to yourself?
Well, because I'm not kind of going, right, that's it, I'm on a diet. So bread, gone, carbohydrate, gone, chocolate, gone, everything gone. I will now only eat this disgusting, and it is disgusting, quinoa, awful thing, and it doesn't work for me. So it was my wife's birthday about a week ago yesterday. It was my wife's birthday, and we decided, let's get a takeout. And we got a takeout from our favorite restaurant. And I knew that we were getting this takeout, so I planned what I was eating that day accordingly. And I had a really good meal. I didn't eat the dessert or anything, but I had, it was a meal I would order regardless of whether I was on this diet. And then the next day, I picked up where I was and I carried on. And I sort of went slightly over my points, but not to a point where I went nuts. And historically, I've always been either on a diet or I'm off a diet. So as soon as I have broken, I don't know if people would associate with this, but as soon as I've broken that chain, I would use that as an excuse and go, oh, well, I've done that now. I've broken the diet, so I might as well eat this pint of ice cream and go and get a burger because it's done now. It's broken. See, who am I? I did it. I thought I could do it and I can't, so now I'm done. And actually what I've realized is, no. I'm still not really wanting to talk to myself in the third person. But I, have had some long conversations with myself in mirrors before where sometimes I go, is this what it's going to be? Are you going to look like this forever? And some days I go, oh, I don't want to talk to you today. And other days I think, yeah, okay, let's make a change. And what I've realized is you can't break this and not, because this is it. This is what we're doing. And so this is what I'm doing. And I'm going to think every single time I put food into my body, I'm going to be aware of what it is. And I feel very, very smug when I'm in like the break room at work and I use the scanner on the app, because I was actually in the break room the other day and I used to always eat these bars at work that I thought were healthy, Oprah, and they looked healthy. They presented themselves as healthy, if I'm honest. They told me in their packaging that this is a healthy food snack. So I'm in there the other day and I was kind of hungry and I'd forgotten I really love the baked protein bar, the WW protein bar. I'd forgotten to bring it with me. So I went in and I thought, well, I'll eat one of those bars. That's a similar protein bar. I scanned it, 11 points. I was gobsmacked. I was eating 2 of these a day. I may as well have been eating a Mars bar. It's ridiculous. So it's just made me more aware of it all,
Yes. That's exactly what WW is all about, is the consciousness, making yourself more aware of what you're eating and taking responsibility for that. And so have you seen success?
Yeah, I've lost 16 pounds. I've lost 16 pounds.
In 5 weeks?
Yeah. And I've been doing some exercise, which I hate. I just can't bear it. So I'm using the word hate. But my wife is so good at it. Do you know what? My wife is actually planning a little circuit for us after this. So we do it together and we do some weights and these little runs. And I moan about it constantly. And then I have to begrudgingly say later that afternoon that I do feel better about myself. And that's what we're doing. But again, it's about support. So yeah, that's what I do, a bit of that. At the very least, we'll just take a walk together, which is really lovely for us. It doesn't, and that's what we'll try and do, is that really. But yeah, I'm down 60
favorite go-to, aside from those bars now, do you have a favorite go-to WW meal? What comforts you? What
yes, there's so many. There's this, have you done, and I've been telling the people at WW Oprah, and I'll tell you, this should be out and sold as a kit. There's a great recipe, and it's really quite easy. It sounds complicated, but I promise you it's quite easy, for a chickpea pizza, which I think WW should be selling as a chick pizza. And if you don't do it, I will. And you'll rue the day that you didn't. But it's a chickpea base with a little marinara sauce and then not too much cheese. And then we put like broccoli and red onion and stuff on it. And just last Sunday, because it was the Super Bowl, the kids wanted to order pizza, which for me is just a nightmare. Like, it's enough for me to just go and sit in the car while they eat it, because I just can't not pick. Yeah. I just can't.
One slice is one good slice is 10 points. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be all right if I could eat one good slice. But I consider one good pizza. So yeah. Me and Jules said, well, why don't we do this chick pizza? Oh my word, it was sensational. I urge anybody to search out that recipe, because you can also make the base like the day before and keep it in the fridge, and it will go kind of hardish, and then you can make it up. And we did it with the kids, and they had a pizza from the delivery place, and me and Jules ate this, and it was amazing. I felt so smug about myself.
I love that smug feeling. Okay, let's do a speed round. What's the last show you binge watched?
Oh, properly binge watch. I'm watching fully binge watched is a show called Normal People on Hulu, but that's been out a while now. But there's also a French show on Netflix called Call My Agent, which I find really funny. I'm enjoying that a lot.
Okay, who's your dream carpool karaoke passenger?
Oh, wow. It has to be Beyonce, doesn't it? I think.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. You will break the internet. You will break the internet.
We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know if an internet could exist after that. Okay. What book is on your nightstand right now?
Oh, it's right next to me. You'd like this book, Oprah, actually. This is the book I've been reading. It's called Post-Corona, From Crisis to Opportunity. It's by Scott Galloway, who's a brilliant author. And it's just about essentially how the world will be different, how we've all, even if we don't fully realize it, gone through this and changed in some way. And what are we going to do about that? And I'm really enjoying it, actually. I'm about a third of the way in.
Speaking of that, what is the first place you want to travel when it's safe again to do so?
Oh, well, I'd love to go and see my mum and dad. So it would always be London for me. We're so used to them being out here they would often come twice a year for a month at a time. And they are missing our children so much, and our children are missing both of their grandparents. So it would be there, but all my family are on WW now. Did you know this? My sisters are on it and they're doing great. My parents are on it. They have, because I used to go with my mum to formerly Weight Watchers meetings when I was like 11 or 12. And it's the only thing that's ever worked for my mum. And she's always struggled with her weight. So my sisters and my mum and dad, because of the time difference, we can't ever be there. Every 3 weeks, they do a Zoom WW weigh-in. And they clap each other if they've done well. They're properly
so good.
Terrific.
Yeah, this lifestyle's better when you share it. So I've heard you say that the pandemic brought you and your family closer together. Is there a new hobby that you discovered during the pandemic?
There's a new hobby I've got, which is I just hiding in the bathroom to just read and write emails. That's my new hobby. I'm just got to nip to the bathroom, kids, and I could be in there for 40 minutes, just reading and writing emails. I tell you the thing that we've really enjoyed, which always feels slightly strange saying that during such a turbulent time, is because we haven't had guests on our show. We tape our show earlier now, so I get back every night for kind of what we call winding down time in our house, which is books and talks, and that is something I have really, really loved so much, is sitting with our children and talking with them and about everything that's been going on. It's probably that really is, and it's a miracle that my wife hasn't killed me or left me during this time. Let's be honest. Who'd want to walk a mile in her shoes? But she really does hold our whole family together, and it's been a challenge for everybody. But I will say, like, since starting this WW and being on the app and stuff, and I get loads of messages from people saying that this isn't you, it's not me, and I promise you it is. I'm right there with you, and if you ever want to have a chat about anything, I'll be right there. And I really do feel like I've joined something which the benefit for my life and my family is going to be monumental, because I already feel it,
Wow, that's so great. It's great speaking of chatting with everybody, it's great to connect with you today. It's great to have this connection. Glorious. And thank you so much for being so open, so vulnerable, for sharing your truth in a way that we are all amening to. We know it, we feel it, we've been there. And thank you for being on this journey with us. Thanks.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I can't tell you what a pleasure and an honor it is to just be in your orbit, Oprah, for a minute, but like to be with all these people who I have so much respect for, because we're all of us told that this is easy. We're all of us told somehow, somewhere, by somebody in our lives to just pull ourselves together and, oh, well, just don't eat that. And what are you doing? And ugh. And it isn't. It's really, really hard. It's really, really hard. But like being here, doing this, checking in with each other, being aware of it, you know, we can make those changes and then inspire some other people to make those changes. And we'll never, ever be those people that go, well, it was really easy. I lost all this weight and it was so easy. It isn't. It's really difficult. But I'm right there with you. And I know that you're right there with me. And you know, in a year's time, we're all going to be so ripped. We're all going to be so ripped, Oprah. It's going to be crazy. I'll be sat here with a shirt off. It'll just be, I'm going to be like The Rock.
Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again when you reach goal. Do you have a goal? Do you have a goal, or are you just moving until you feel like you're in the right body for yourself?
Well, I've gained so much weight. You know, I was 7 pounds, 8 ounces. And ever since then, I've just gained weight. Now, I'd really like to experience a day, just one day, underneath 200 pounds. That's my plan. But like when I met my wife, I was about 280. When I started this on WW, I was 236. I'm now like 220. And I would really love to experience a day underneath 200 pounds. I'd like to be the weight that Ciara was when she started the diet. That would be a dream for me.
But hey, you can't say I just want to be there for a day. You gotta, make the shift, the paradigm.
And then I'll just sit around it.
Yeah.
I'll be 202. I'll be 194. Because I know that this program that I'm on now, I know the way that I'm eating, that I can sustain this. So I really just want to try and push this off. And then I'm certain that when I get to that weight, I'll still look in the mirror and think.
So you must have started, since you've lost 60, you said you were at 226 and you now at 220. You must have been at 236 when you started because you've lost 60.
Well, I was, sorry, yes. Yeah. I was 236 and now I'm 220. Yeah. And then, so I'm really, really going to try and keep going on this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We love talking to you today. I enjoyed it so much. When I was there and I asked you about your children, the dream that you had for your children, and you jokingly started to tear up. What is that dream that you still hold?
Oh man, I'd really like them to be happy. I'd like them to be happy, good people. That's my dream more than anything else, really, is them to just find whatever it is in this world that makes them happy and do that. And that would be the best thing that I think I could ever wish for them, because I think all the other stuff is irrelevant really after that. Yeah. So I'd really love them to be happy and find the thing that they're good at and run with it and never give up on that. That's what I'd really, really love. I wasn't joking when you made me cry. I was genuinely serious. You have this crazy gift. And I mean, even just talking to you now, I can't believe it. So it's always a joy to be in your orbit. It really, really is. And what you're doing here, because you spend so much of this time talking about other people and asking questions about other people, what you're doing here, you doing this, you being part of this right now, staying, checking in, and whether it be out on the road, which I hope one day so much you get to do again, But doing all this, you just don't know what it means to people. You really, really don't. You don't know how much it means to all of us. I mean that, truly.
Thank you, James Corden. Thank you. Have a beautiful Saturday. Love
See
to
you
the
soon.
family.
See you later.
Okay. This is what making a commitment is. It's not I want to. It's not I really want to. It's I'm going to. And Eckhart Tolle once explained to me what a goal means to him. He said the reality of a goal is that it's already a vision inside you. So all you have to do is get still enough to let the vision resound within you. And so what you all have decided this morning that you are ready to commit to, have you decided? Maybe it's to hold 20 minutes in the day just for yourself. It could be that you're going to stand up and stretch during your next Zoom, or do what Kym Whitley said, you're going to at least move when you're on the phone, or take a walk when you need it most. Well, at the bottom of your workbook, you're going to see a commitment contract. And after our time together ends, before you step back into the swirl of your life, I want you to take at least just give yourself 5 minutes to think about everything we talked about today and complete your commitment contract. It will help you get clarity on how you can bring the love that you need to your life. And WW and I have a text number. Here it is on your screen. That's 917-924-4450, 4450. And we love reading your texts and staying connected. So everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, and this Zoom right now, I want you to write down that number. And then when you're finished with your contract, and the contract is a symbol of a commitment that you're making to yourself. It's not some little hokey, corny thing. It's a symbol. It's symbolic. You know, if you sign a contract with anyone else, in partnership with anybody else, you're going to hold up that contract. You're going to be held accountable for that contract. So this is a way of being as committed, as faithful, as sincere with yourself as you would if you were making a contract with somebody else. So I want you to text us which boxes you've checked on how you're going to commit to being the love you need, and also how you plan to kickstart your commitment. We can't wait to see those. Wasn't that conversation with James, weren't you? I'm so moved by that. I was really moved by that. So, I am so grateful that you all chose to give us your Saturday. Y'all got dressed up too. Look at this on the Zoom. I wonder if everybody stood up, I wonder what we'd see on the bottom, but y'all really look good on the top, I gotta say. Okay, you're looking really good on top. And I'm so delighted that you all chose to gather here with us to activate what you already know to be true about your wellness journey. And just take a minute to give yourself love for that. It is true that the life forces, the universe rises up to meet you exactly where you are. And you're being here today saying, I want to move in the direction of wellness and goodness in my life. God heard that. Your life hears that. And that's going to happen. So the meaning of wisdom for me is recognizing that the moment when what you know aligns perfectly with what you're feeling. So being able to ask yourself today and tomorrow and the next day, what would giving yourself the love you need feel like in this moment? And then, Patrice, the next moment, and then the next moment, and then the next moment. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen March the 15th or May the 12th. Just in this moment, what can you do in all of your actions, all of your choices? How can you serve the energy of your soul in love? You know the answer when every cell of your body starts to vibrate with your own truth. Because when something's right, we all feel it. You change your vibration. That's why I was saying gratitude changes your vibration. When you're filled up by what you're doing instead of being drained by it, that's how you know. And then the people in your life also take notice. They go like, what happened to you? They'll see that the truest version of you emerging, standing in awe and wonder of how you achieved your goals. They're like, what's happening with you? There's a beautiful poem by Nara Waheed in her book called Salt. I have it on my nightstand, that says, I love myself. The quietest, simplest, most powerful revolution ever. Loving yourself is a revolution. Let that revolution begin today. That is my hope for all of you. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday. I'll see you again soon. Dr. Shefali and I are going to keep the conversation going. You can see that and watch this entire morning experience all over again on the WW app. Bye, everybody. Thank you.